In the spirit of reconciliation, PWA would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of country and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today. Alrighty folks, it is time for the big one. Welcome to the official press conference for the Sydney leg of the PWA Black Label LFG Tour that hits the UNSW Roundhouse on Friday. This Friday, the 21st of October. It's going to be one of our largest shows to date. Tickets are available at prowrestlingaustralia.com.au and you can watch it live on FITE TV. We would like to thank our official sponsor, the Wayward Brewing Co, and the media who have come here today. Thank you for coming along. We are going to be hearing from a lot of the stars appearing on Friday night, but first, let's kick things off with the winner of the 2022 PWA Coliseum Tournament. Please help me in welcoming the Sniper of the Skies, Robbie Eagles.
As the winner of this year's Coliseum Tournament, the holder of Cobalt Steel, just wanted to thank everyone for being here, everyone watching at home, and everyone that's going to be joining us at the UNSW Roundhouse this coming Friday for Let's Fucking Go. This has been a long time coming. This whole tour that we're doing with PWA around the country, the East Coast, is getting to see the best wrestling this country produces. And arguably, the best wrestling I see anywhere in the world. And people know I wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm a former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, a former IWGP Junior Tag Champion. And as a Double Crown Champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'm very fortunate that we get to have Shingo Takagi come here firsthand and see what Australian pro wrestling is all about at the Roundhouse. But as the Coliseum winner, as the holder of Cobalt Steel, it's not just about winning the tournament. It's not just about having the sword in my possession. I do this and I hold this sword up high as a leader for wrestling in this country. Now, I got to say some things at the Thornbury Theatre, and hopefully that comes to air soon, but some things that were left unsaid is I want to stand here as the leader of Australian wrestling so that more people develop more of a drive. They develop more of a passion. And I know that's such a cliche thing to talk about. It's our passion to do this. It's our passion to be the best wrestlers we can be. But people don't fucking understand how passionate I am about wrestling in this goddamn country. I will not stop. I will not quit. I will not surrender until Australian wrestling is regarded like everywhere else in the world. Japan, America, UK, Mexico, wherever you want to look, people think that's the top tier, that's the echelon that you need to be looking at for pro wrestling. But we need to be looking here. And I'll make you take notice, and we will conquer. Now, as for me, I'm not just leading figuratively, I'm going to be at the front of the charge for the Roundhouse. I don't have a match scheduled yet, but I'll be there. I'm healthy, I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to go to war. So whatever comes my way, whatever opportunity lands in my lap, I will take this sword, I will hold it up high, and I will take on any challenger that wants to do the dance with the Sniper of the Skies. Because at the end of the day, everyone finds out, and you guys know, that they all surrender to the Sniper.
We'll take some questions. Anyone got questions? Anyone want to kick us off? Yep. Do you want to introduce yourself?
So, Jamie from Pario Magazine. After winning the tournament in Melbourne, you spoke an impassioned speech to the live crowd there, talking about talent no longer having to go overseas. What challenges now lie ahead for Australia, and how feasible is that opportunity?
I think it's all about where we go from here. I think it's about us as a collective, as a community, where we want to take it. And we all have the same vision. We talk about it. Australian wrestling was on television at one point in time, and it was popular. And then that kind of faded away. It faded away until it was nothing. It no longer existed. So maybe that's what we're driving towards. Maybe we all need to shout, like I said in Thornbury Theatre, until people are telling us to shut the fuck up. But we need to keep shouting and saying how good Australian wrestling is so that someone with that right vision that we also have and share, comes in and says, you know what? This is what's missing from mainstream television. This is what's missing from a mainstreaming platformer. I don't know what it is, but we just need to continue to grow. We need to get in front of more eyes, because every time we get someone new inside an arena, whether it's Wollongong, Thornbury Theatre, the Sopo in Queensland, or any other venue that we've ever performed in front of, you get a hold of someone that's there for the first time, and they tell you how fucking good it was. They tell you how impressed they were by all the wrestlers on stage that day. So we just need to keep doing that, because everyone's impressed. And that's not just here in Australia, that's around the world. Live on FITE TV, we're growing more and more viewers. But we need to keep going. And that means us as the wrestlers, as the referees, as the managers, as the backstage staff, as the video production team, as everyone that's involved in the community, as you guys, as the media, as the fans that are watching live on YouTube. We can't stop, we can't get lazy. We need to keep going, and we need to get better. Be better than our last day to impress the next person.
My question is, you don't have a match lined up for the Roundhouse on the 21st. Do you have a preference? Would you want to be going up against a seasoned veteran, or would you rather be going up against an up-and-comer if you had the opportunity to choose the matchup?
Well, if I was honest and I had the opportunity to choose the matchup, I'd be going for one of the belts that's on the line this Friday night at the Roundhouse. The one that's eluded me up until this point, the Soul of PWA Championship. So I'm very focused on that title, and I'll be watching Jimmy Townsend and Cherry Stevens very closely. But that doesn't mean that I'm not watching the cage match between Ricky and Mick just as closely. I've been a 3-time PWA heavyweight champion. It's been a while since I've held that belt, so maybe that's something I'm looking at. But knowing that these matches are set, and I don't want to take away from the opportunities that especially the younger talent's getting, it's all about who wants to step up to the sniper piers. Who wants to get shot down and get some of that 5 minutes of fame from wrestling Robbie Eagles? And it may sound like a dickish thing, but let's be honest, guys. I am the measuring stick of this country. No one compares to me, and that's why I hold Cobalt Steel. And if I'm going to talk about the past as well as the present, I have never been in the Coliseum tournament until this year, right? I've never been in the country when it's been running. But I am so certain if I was in the first one, I would have beaten Mick Moretti to the finals. If I was in the second one, I would have beaten Matty Wahlberg to the final. I'd have 3 swords by now, and you can put that on your podcast.
Thank you, Robbie. So this Friday at the Roundhouse, we are going to be seeing the new Soul of PWA champion, Cherry Stevens, defend her title against this man. Please help me in welcoming the Wandering Soul, Jimmy Townsend.
Ever since the prefects walked away from that playground, I've been on a near 2-year journey for self-discovery that comes to a conclusion this Friday night when I officially become the Wandering Soul of PWA. And unfortunately, it has to come at the expense of someone who I care a lot about. I am very, very proud of everything that Cherry has accomplished, but if I'm honest, seeing her kind of fluke her way to becoming the first prefect to win a championship in PWA has really lit a fire under my arse. And I'll be the first to admit that Cherry is one of the best in the country, but there's no denying that she's kind of been lucky that the dominoes have all fell into place the way they have for her to become champion. And I know that you're already going to tell, and I've asked myself, Jimmy, how are you so confident going into the Roundhouse? Why do I know that I'm going to leave this Friday as the sole of PWA champion? Cherry is a student of the game. She knows her opponents inside and out. If you know a hold, she knows 3 counters. There's not a single thing that I could pull out of my moveset that she won't have an answer for. Except for one. And I might have put it on the back burner for a little bit, but this is a title match, and there is no way that I'm going to let it get away from me. So, this Friday at the Roundhouse, it's time for me to remind everybody that nobody kicks out of the schoolboy.
Thanks for everyone for your time here. Mick Robson from the Arena Media. Question for you, Jimmy. As you just mentioned, you and Cherry have a long history going back to the prefects. How does that emotion and that history affect your preparation going into this match?
Like I said, it's kind of playing on my mind. It sucks that Cherry's the person that I have to go through to win the championship. But much like any good tag team, it's a competition, and we're all trying to be better than each other to bring each other up. So I think it's going to be a very competitive match, but like I said, it's my time to be the wandering soul of PWA.
Jimmy, you sound very confident going into this match, and at Cherry's All That, you pretty much called out Mick Moretti, pretty much bypassing Cherry even being a possibility of winning that match. Do you see her as just being a complete walkthrough at this stage for you to go and take this championship?
No, not at all. Like, not a walkthrough, completely not a walkthrough. Like I said, Cherry's very, very good, but she's been quite lucky up until this point. She kind of inserted herself into the number 1 contenders match with Big Fudge Milkitas halfway through, and I know that she won the title, but maybe if Ricky South didn't get involved, the match might have gone the other way, and maybe I would be facing Mick Moretti at this show. So it's going to, like I said, Cherry's very, very good, but she has been quite lucky up until this point.
Jimmy, it sounds like there might be a little bit of jealousy there. Is that something that is driving you in this match?
Jealousy, I really would have liked to have been the first prefect to win the championship in PWA. And that kind of stings a little bit, that for someone who was kind of my sidekick has now overshadowed me. Yeah. But, like I said, I'm very proud of Cherry. Don't get me wrong. There's no bad blood. I'm very proud of what she's accomplished. But I think it's time for me to take the reins now.
Thank you, Jimmy. At this time, let me introduce you to the reigning and defending Soul of PWA champion, Cherry Stevens.
Minasan, 来てくれてありがとうございます。Thank you so much for coming today. Nobody kicks out of the schoolboy. Jimmy, did you forget that we were in the prefects together? I just won my last 2 matches with the schoolboy. Did you really think that I wasn't actually going to prepare for this as much as I can, as soon as I found out that this match was happening? You call yourself the Wandering Soul, but you turned away from PWA. And I get it. You felt lost. You wanted to find yourself. I was there. But I put my soul into PWA. And I went through hell and back to earn this title. And look, I'll give you credit, okay? You went over to the US, you wanted to make your mark, you gave yourself an individual challenge. But that's not what makes the soul of PWA. At Cherry's All That, and you said this yourself, That was your first win on a Black Label show in 3 years. And you think that you deserve a title shot straight away? Look, I understand why you might be jealous or upset, I get it. Because I believe that you could be standing here champion right now. But you're not. I am. And you call my win a fluke or luck or whatever, but no one at PWA wins anything because of luck. Everyone gets the same opportunity. Just depends who takes it. And that's why I'm the champion. Not because of luck, not because of a fluke, but because of the choices that we both made. I earned it. You asked for it. And that's why I'm walking out on Friday, still your Soul of PWA champion.
Hi Jerry, hi everyone. Jared from the PWA Nui Pro fan community page.
Jared?
Jerry, one question I have to ask. The schoolboy is a very good tactic to have, but does it concern you that you're facing one of the two people who actually kicked out of the schoolboy?
It is, but the schoolboy is also not the only thing in my arsenal. I can win with other things.
Okay, I'm from the Arena Media.
Hello.
Just a couple of years ago, you were a green dingo.
Yes.
I view your rise through the ranks as Kurt Angle-esque, been very quick, very meteoric.
Thank you.
What do you attribute that rise to? What have you done? What work have you put in that Jimmy maybe hasn't?
I think, like I said, Jimmy got a bit lost, after the prefects disbanded. And during the playground brawl, it was Billy and Jimmy taking it out on each other. I was trying to stop it. So when he kind of went to try and find himself, I put my head down. I put them into the books. I put myself into the ring, training all the time. And I think that's probably what's going to set us apart on Friday.
Thank you, Jimmy and Cherry. Now, there has been a rivalry brewing this year in PWA that has come to a breaking point. I'm talking about Big Fudge and Will Keatis. This Friday at the Roundhouse, it will be Team Keatis versus Team Fudge in a 10-person elimination tag match. First off, let's welcome the anchor man, Will Keatis.
Judas, great speech. Sorry, Cherry. Sorry, slip of the tongue. Just first and foremost, there will be no questions from the media over here because I don't take questions from fake journalists. There's only one real journalist. And you're... Double or nothing, to me, is justice being served. Yeah, I made this bet with Big Fudge. It's been going on a year, and at the end of this bet, technically, did I lose? Yeah, maybe. But when you actually look at it, I didn't really lose anything. I didn't lose a match, did I? Mick Moretti lost that match. So to me, Mick Moretti lost that bet, not me. So at the Roundhouse, double or nothing to me is righting the wrongs of my 2022. And that starts with building a team of champions. That starts with Kingsley, one of my closest friends in this business. I
I knew she was the one that I had to stand beside me in this war. And then you look at the other two people that are required. Adam Hoffman, Ben Braxton, two of the most underrated talents in this industry. Hoffman has been wrestling for nearly 20 years. Ben Braxton is one of the most impressive athletes we've ever seen in PWA. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Team Haters are a team of champions. And so October 21st will be a famous victory for Team Haters. We are going to win, and we are going to win well. Kingsley.
Sit down, everybody. Hello. Firstly, I would like to personally thank Will Keaters for choosing me as his first choice as Team Keaters. Hey, clap, clap. Thank you. Secondly, I would like to acknowledge the obvious. I, Kingsley, beat Billy Preston last Friday at Wollongong. I beat him and his playtime idiots. That makes me a winner. And if I know simple math, me being a winner makes me on a team of winners. Therefore, at the Roundhouse, Team Fudge and his table of mutants at table number 2 over there, expect a massive loss because Team Keaters, we're gonna beat the shit out of you.
Team Fudge. You look at Team Fudge, their best player thinks he's a caveman. Look at them. Bunch of mutants, as you said. Bunch of losers, bunch of goobers. Yada, yada. Think we're all sick. Hearing you speak. Can I get a microphone? Let's hear from someone who might want to hear talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the press, not you, Keaters. I already won this bet once. And come Friday, October 21st, I'm going to do it again. And you know what? I got the dream team to do it. I got Batman, I got Jack Lane, I got Big Brother, Billy Preston, and I got Caveman Ugg. And you ain't got shit, motherfucker. We've been hustling every day to make sure I win this bet and I take money out of your pocket. Hey, Batman. What time we been waking up every day? 6 a.m. What have we been eating every single day?
We have been eating rocks and protein-flavored rocks.
What are we pumping every single day, Batman?
We've been pumping iron, we've been pumping weights, and we've been pumping Will Keaters' mom!
Oh, got him! Hey, Big Brother, Billy Preston. What can we call Will Keaters?
Oh, I know this one. Mr. Keaters.
No, dude, no, shh. You know that thing you called him in the car? The thing you said in the car. Say it again. What we call him?
Goofy Goober.
Got him! And not only is Big Brother Billy Preston my tag team partner, he is also my attorney. He has made sure there will be no loophole for you to weasel out of paying me this time. What's that legal mumbo jumbo you've been saying to me? What's the term?
Legally binding contract.
And what's going to happen to Will Keaters when he loses?
Can you say bankruptcy?
Bankruptcy! And you know what? When you're broke, when you're out of luck, when you're out of money, it won't be so bad. I bet you can get a part-time job at McDonald's, which, to be fair, is a more prestigious job than the Goober Report. And by my count, I got a full house. I got a full team. I got 4 members of my team. You only got 3. How the hell are you going to convince one other person to put up with you?
I'm very glad you brought that up, Big Fudge. Because I have some breaking news about the 5th and final member of Team Keaters joining Team Ketis to round us off is someone that you've never beaten. Is someone that is one of the biggest forces in PWA. And let's just say everybody has a price, because I've been able to convince this man to join Team Ketis. And the fifth and final member of Team Ketis is Bossa Bones Rogers. Clap!
You're paying your goons. You're going to be paying me for the bet. You're going to be out of pocket. You're paying for the suit. You're going to be paying for my mansion. You're going to be paying for my cars, my butler, because I'm going to win this bet this Friday at the round.
Tag Team Champions, the Velocities, face off against the PWA Tag Team Champions, MK Plus Ultra. In a winner-take-all match. Folks, first off, let's join me in welcoming the ASCA Tag Team Champions, Jude London, Spartan Spirit, Paris Silva, the Velocities.
Whoa, guys. Thanks for coming today. Thanks for taking time out of your day. Thanks for everybody that's tuning in on the live stream. Paris and I are very excited. The Velocities versus MK Plus Ultra. One more time, where the winner takes it all. Paris and I are very honored to have had the opportunity to travel internationally, to pick up the ASCA Tag Team titles in Italy. To be honest, these are some titles that were brought back. These have been revived after a long, long time. To revive independent wrestling in Europe and in Italy. And that's a mission statement that's very, very similar to what PWA is trying to do. It's amazing. And that's why we're very excited to have another opportunity yet again to take those tag team championships away from MK Plus Ultra.
It really pains me to think that you guys just have no idea how big this is. Every time that we have met, it's been a monumental step for PWA. From our first encounter in the ladder match, being the first time that PWA was streamed live around the world on FITE TV. Yeah, we main evented that as well. To our second encounter, being live at the iconic Metro Theatre. And once again, MK Plus Ultra versus the Velocities at the Roundhouse. Not just for one set of championships, but for two. One of which being from another country. That tells me that our hatred, that our dislike, but most importantly, our tag team division has reached an international scale. That is history. But history will not repeat itself in your favor. We are walking in with gold, and we will walk out with even more.
Velocities, quick question I have. So, history has repeated itself where MK Plus Ultra have been really fighting champions, really have been trying to chase you for a long time. They finally get you, What's going to happen if they take those titles from you?
Good question, thank you. To be honest, that's a thought that's front of mind every time I'm in the ring from MK Plus Ultra. Now, obviously, there's more on the line. Paris talked about history. One of the important points of history between the Velocities and MK Plus Ultra is the Velocities have never pinned, have never submitted MK Plus Ultra. So of course it's something that comes front of mind. But to be quite honest, now we're seasoned, We're travelled. We have international experience. Dude, we've been over the UK, over Europe. We faced some of the best talent that the world has to offer. We have new tricks in our tool bag. We have new techniques in our arsenal that MK Plus Ultra have just not seen. And quite frankly, we have experience that they just have not captured yet. So you tell me who you think's going to win.
Over the years, Velocity has created a lot of buzz, had a lot of viral moments. The shooting star DDT on Jack Bonza, the acclaimed matches of Aussie Open. Do you guys feel pressure to top those big viral moments on such a big stage like the Roundhouse?
Take this one, yeah, I think I will. Quite frankly, there's always pressure when you're in the ring. And, you know, for us in particular, it's never going to change. It is a high-pressure situation, but that's what we thrive off. That's what's gotten us to this point. So as much as it is a huge event for PWA, a huge event for the Velocities, it's where we thrive. It's where we're comfortable. And we're ready.
Thank you, Jude and Paris. Now, coming up to the stage next, we have our PWA Tag Team Champions, the Principal of Wrestling, Michael Spencer, Dragonheart, Kai Drake, MK Plus Ultra.
Should you do all the talking?
Hush! Speak!
Okay. Well, I'm not going to stand here and go on and 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 on like everyone else seems to have done. The Velocities have pretty much summed up everything. This is going to be iconic. Every match we have has been better than the last. So why should I promote this any further? Just watch it. We're going to blow the roof off the place. And that's all I've got to say about that. We're MK Plus Ultra. We're the tag team champions. We haven't lost them and let them go overseas for months on end. And then we didn't leave for months on end. We stayed here. We're the tag team champions. We're going to stay the tag team champions. And I'm going to be carrying 2 belts. 2! Over my other shoulder. Questions, please. Not from you. I'm kidding, go. You heard him. Next question.
So actually, you're currently leading this series 2-1. What happens when the Velocities win these titles and we end up at 2-2?
I beg to differ. Shit question from a shit reporter. You said when. That's not going to be when. It still stays if, but it's not going to happen. I mean, look at us. Look at them. And then look back at us. And look at you. Fuck Velocities! Pretty much. That is all. Good day.
facing off against the winner of the 2022 PWA Rumble, Lyrebird Lucci, this Friday night at the Roundhouse. Please join me in welcoming the arm collector, Jessica Troy. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. I can't count past 2. Let's go for a 3. Maybe throw in a 4. Welcome back, everyone. At this time, we are going to bring in the next round of the PWA stars appearing at the UNSW Roundhouse this Friday, October 21, for the PWA LFG Tour. So let's bring them in now. First, we have Jessica Troy, who will be facing off against Lyrebird Lucci this Friday night. Lyrebird Lucci being the PWA 2022 Rumble winner. So let's bring him out now. Coming up next, we have the interim PWA World Champion, the Rapscallion, Mickey Reddy. And finally, we have the PWA Heavyweight Champion, Tough Stuff, Ricky South.
How are we?
As I said earlier, our next guest will be facing off against Lyrebird Lucci this Friday at the Roundhouse. Please welcome the arm collector, Jessica Troy.
I just have something I need to address for myself real quick. I've always thought there's a strange sense of pride in accepting the consequences of your own actions, no matter how they fall. And at Coliseum, I fell. And I know there's a lot of wrestlers that would struggle so much to pull themselves up after this kind of a loss, leading into this kind of a match against this kind of an opponent like Lyrebird Lucci.
Are we still doing this? I'm so sorry to cut you off. But this is actual garbage. Can I have a microphone? Give me a microphone, mate. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have heard this over and over again. Oh, I'm an underdog. Oh, I just do my best. I fail constantly. Oh, yeah, we get it. Wait, don't laugh, buddy, because you are the name of this crap. All you little freaks that slide through the DMs. Oh, you're such a big underdog, Jess. You're not a fucking underdog. Wake up to yourself. You're one of the best wrestlers in this country. Female wrestlers, this isn't fucking Melbourne. You are the best wrestler here. Okay, I'm sick of seeing these two. It's time you wake up. This underdog story is getting ridiculous. Absolutely crap. Let's look at it. Yeah? The underdog Jessica Troy shows up to the Premiership. Fails. The underdog Jessica Troy shows up to the Rumble. Fails. The underdog Jessica Troy goes to Coliseum to fight Robbie Eagles and fails. Robbie Eagles is Mr. 2014. You're meant to be now, not the future. Look, if you show up to the Roundhouse as an underdog, I promise you, you're going to get your ass kicked by a guy in a wheelchair with bad beginnings. Okay? But if you show up and you start really being who you are, an actual ass kicker, an arm collector, a person who can actually stab my arms, stab my legs, stab my neck, actually wrestle. Be that person. Why am I the one? Out of all these people, why am I the one that has to tell you to wake up, Jess? The ball's in your court. You can keep being the underdog, but this story's getting old. How long do you want to be a C-grade act for, okay? Fuck this. I'm done. I've said everything. I don't want to talk to these people.
Jess, it looks like from your body language that Lucci has struck a nerve here. Can you tell us what your thoughts are following what Lucci's just said?
Well, he's not wrong. If he wants the arm collector, then that's what he's going to get. So I hope he's ready.
Let's say it. Let's say it.
Jess, we've seen time and time again, Lucci likes to exploit the weaknesses of his opponent, physically or mentally. To flip that, do you see any weaknesses in Lucci, besides the obvious, the chair, that you can use to your advantage?
Whether he has a weakness or not, it doesn't matter to me. No matter how this match goes, like, we're going out there, we're going to fight. I'm going to rip his arm from his sockets. Doesn't matter about his legs. If that wants to be a weakness this month, next month, might need a sling for that arm.
Yeah, we're not going to have any more press for that, but thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Lucci. Now, introducing next a man that has been quite outspoken the last few weeks on social media for this Friday's event, but also in the last few days, New Japan Pro Wrestling star Shingo Takagi has agreed to a match with him. Please welcome the leader of the Red Nation Army Corps, Jack J. Bonza.
On Friday, I wrestled Shingo Takagi, former RWGP heavyweight champion, at the University of New South Wales Roundhouse. It will be one of the biggest matches that's happened on Australian soil. Are there any questions?
Lately, is about every show you've done, you've thrown out a challenge to someone new. Is this a pattern of form to keep bettering yourself, or is there an ulterior motive involved in this?
This is the ulterior motive. November 13, November 11, New Japan Tamashii are coming to Australia. I'm not sure if anybody realises how big a deal this is for Australian wrestling. Pay attention to what New Japan's trying to do. Look at New Japan Strong. Look at all the guys who have been put on New Japan Wrestle Kingdom official events through local things like that in America. This is Australia's chance at that. And then ahead of that, Takagi comes to a PWA show, nowhere else in the country, to a PWA show to scout local talent. That's my focus. That's my ulterior motive.
Oh, hi, Bonzo. Just on the theme of what Jared said about bettering yourself. Last time you faced a New Japan wrestler on a major event, New Japan Southern Showdown, you faced Yuji Nagata. You lost. How is the Jack Bonzo of 2022 better equipped to deal with a man like Shingo versus 2018 Bonzo?
It's all about experience. It's all about you don't go to the grand stage and win on your first time out. And that isn't actually the last time I faced a New Japan wrestler on a stage. I wrestled Jushin Thunder Liger, where I teamed with Fale. I wrestled Mick Moretti at the New Japan Roundhouse event. I've wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. at World Series Wrestling. I've wrestled tons of these guys. You know, the preparation coming into it, really, it does come down to Tamashii. You know, this is what we're pointing towards. PWA in Australia, and then going into New Japan Tamashii. I mean, like, we've just grown. I mean, you can look at PWA and Australian wrestling in the same vein. I mean, who had really heard of most of us down here in 2016 when New Japan first came? But PWA's grown, and so have I. The point of wrestling Shingo, it's not even, we don't need to win. I will win, but we don't need to win. For me to be competitive, for me to take out, for me to put on the ground one of the top heavyweights on the planet in New Japan, man, that's the point. We're asking about, like, I guess the main focus of this is Tamashii is a proving ground. The New Japan Young Lions from Fale's dojo in New Zealand, they're coming in to get used to it and to train and to get better, to show that they're good enough to maybe, or to prove and to get better in order to then become good enough to get onto a proper New Japan event. Against Shingo this Friday, I'm going to prove that I'm already good enough.
Thank you, Jack J. Bonza. Now, finally, this Friday at the Roundhouse, it will be interim PWA heavyweight champion Mick Moretti going one-on-one with the PWA heavyweight champion Ricky South in a unification match that will take place in a steel cage match. Now, firstly, please join me in welcoming the interim PWA heavyweight champion, the Master of Mischief, the Grinning Dragon, the top of the food chain. He is the rapscallion, Mick Moretti.
Thank you, Nicholas. Well, there's a lot on my mind, to be honest, going into this. So I'm going to try and keep this as short as I can to make you understand where I'm at. See, I never used to dislike this guy. He was a hard worker, a hard trainer. He showed up, he turned up, he put up. And it shows in his in-ring ability. It really does. My problem with Ricky South is that now he's revealed the true motive behind all of that hard work. I thought he was a company man. Turns out he's a hypocrite and a fraud. Now I get it, I'm Tricky Mickey Mo, right? But I wear my entire personality right out there for you all to see. I don't pretend to be something that I'm not. He talks about honour, but then interferes in matches to sway the events in his favour. Talks about respect and goes on to attack vulnerable competitors when they're not ready for it. When you became champion, Ricky, you did this big song and dance about how you were going to be the fighting honourable champion. You have defended that belt a grand total of 0 times in 18 months. 0. A big fat 0. Why? Why? Let's recount. I'll tell you why. Because you were distracted, falling into another trap from Unsocial Jordan, which resulted in your neck injury. It's your fault you were put on the sideline. And then they crowned an interim champion. And you were mad about that. He was mad because they disrespected him. They disrespected Ricky South by crowning an interim champion. Original reports, Ricky, said you were out for 6 to 12 months. A company without a champion for 6 to 12 months. Mate, you should be grateful that they let you hold on to the belt. I would have just stripped you of it. While you were injured, I can only imagine the things that were going through your head. Because you wanted to be this big champion. And you had to realise the fact that I became the soul of PWA champion. Defended it against Robbie Eagles. You might remember just one Coliseum. I defended it against Caveman Ugg, who you went through hell to win that against. I made the soul of PWA title more important than that one. And then I put it on the line. I risked that shit so that I could stop grubby hands like him and Unsocial Jordan from getting the interim, and I became the interim heavyweight champion. And in my short reign, I've defended, and I've made it mean more than that. And that burns you, doesn't it, Ricky? Because I became the champion you thought you were going to be. You're not mad at me. You're mad at the man that you see in the mirror every morning, and you've projected that onto me. So be it. If you're stupid enough to think that the belt makes the man, and not that the man makes the belt, more fool you. Because you don't want respect, do you? You just want recognition. You want everyone to pat you on the back and say how good you are. That's what you want everyone to know. This is the biggest match in PWA history. That's what you want, Ricky. I'll give it to you. I'll give you the biggest damn match you've ever had. You can try to step through me to make your career bigger if you want, just like your pal Wayward tried to do. Then he went on to bigger, better things. Where are you going to go next, Ricky? I have poured everything into this company to making that belt mean something. My goals for becoming champion are to build the prestige and legacy of that belt that you seem to speak so very highly of, but seem to have just spat on in your title reign. You want to be champion for Ricky South. You want to do it for yourself. My only selfish goal in this match is to break you. To bend you, mind, body, and soul, and leave you whimpering. Hell, you know what? I might even re-aggravate your neck injury, send you back to the sideline. This time, you won't have a nice shiny pity belt to keep you warm at night, and rid PWA of your bullshit. I tell you what, Ricky, you probably think I'm past my prime. I've just hit my goddamn prime. Every year I get older, I get better. I'm still the top of the food chain. This is my territory, and to make you realise that, I propose a gentleman's agreement. We put this cage up because you're terrified that the nations might interfere. Fine. You want it mano a mano? Fine. The cage is a barrier, that's all. We don't use it as a weapon. We don't try to escape. We win pinfall or submission only. A gentleman's agreement. Then, when you inevitably show your true colours again, show everyone that you're nothing but a selfish mutt who bit the hand that feeds him, I'll take you out the back and I'll put you the fuck down. Any questions?
So Mick, you have prior experience inside a steel cage in Nui Pro, which Ricky does not. You also were a big part of his coaching coming through. Does that give you a major advantage going into this match?
On paper, yeah, definitely. Being inside a cage is an entirely different experience to being in a normal match. But like I just said, the cage doesn't matter. We're not going to use that as a weapon. Are we, Ricky? This is just going to be you and me fighting inside an arena where no one else is going to be. Who has the advantage? It's hard to say. This man is one of the best inside those ropes in this country. I'm not going to deny it. In fact, I welcome it. We all know that I love a challenge. I don't know who has the advantage, to be honest with you. I don't give a shit who has the advantage. I think the winner here is going to be who has the right motive. Yeah? Who has the right motive, Ricky? And as far as being his coach, I know. Without me, there is no professional wrestling academy. Without me, there is no Ricky South. So, you're welcome.
G'day, Mick. You've done it all in Australian wrestling. You're a multi-time heavyweight champion, former solo PWA champion, Intercommonwealth champion at MCW. If Ricky does to win this match, what's next for you?
I guess we'll find out. If we come to that bridge, I'll cross it when I'm looking at it. I don't often look at what's next. You spend too much time looking into the future, you forget about what's happening right now. I worry about the challenge that's right in front of me, and I'm staring at him right in the face. And I'd like to tell you with absolute confidence that's not going to happen. So if we get there, ask me again when it happens and we'll see.
Mick, the last 12 months, you've had a pretty spectacular run, winning championship after championship after championship. After the recent loss of the Solar PWA Championship, your confidence going into this match, does that affect this at all?
Not for a second. Not for a second. I've had a heavy hand in training Cherry Stevens. I know how fucking good she is. And she brought it. I'm not going to lie, a shitload better than I anticipated she would. But I still felt good coming out the back end, and I'm pretty confident I had it in the bag. This man might have thought that I was trying to cheat at the end, but the reality is Cherry was not standing up. There was no point in me hurting her any further. I was just trying to give her the easy way out. But that may not have worked. It might have turned back. She might have beaten me. I can't tell you with certainty, but you can't hurt my confidence. I'm the fucking rapscallion, baby. I can't be stopped.
So, Mick, thanks for your time. You've been here for the growth of Australian wrestling. You're integral to the growth of Australian wrestling. What does it mean to you to be at a venue like the Roundhouse? Does it add any more pressure? Does it add any more nerves?
There's definitely a lot of pressure for the company as a whole. You know, we've worked our absolute butts off to get to where we are. And to have a venue like this, that's our show. This is the biggest venue, biggest show that we've ever run independently, and it excites me. Nerves? Fucking hell with nerves. It gets me giddy with excitement, anticipation, adrenaline. But no doubt, no nerves, because I know what we are capable of. And I know how goddamn good it's going to be. Especially when I get rid of this fuckhead. We good? All right. All yours, baby.
Thank you, Mick. And his opponent for this Friday at the UNSW Roundhouse, the PWA Heavyweight Champion. Please welcome, tough stuff, Ricky South.
Company man. No doubt. This Friday, the 21st of October, PWA is going to run their biggest show that they've ever had. Main evented by probably the biggest match, not in PWA history, but in Australian wrestling history. The fact that there's a cage added in, I'm not really petrified of the nations. I just find it hypocritical that Mick claims to be, again, the honourable champion, where, again, you look back in history, every little victory, championship, every sort of accolade he's got, you know, he can credit that to Madison, to Bonza, to even Miss Jessica Troy here. So I just find that to be a little bit hypocritical. I love the idea of this gentleman's agreement, Mick. I love the idea. Now, to be honest, when you announced it or wanted it to be in a cage, a little bit skeptical, didn't want that, but I liked it, you know. But what I really want to prove, and to prove to everyone here, is that one-on-one, I am the superior champion, the better wrestler. I don't need the cage. So I like it. I'm not going to escape. I'm not going to use the cage. I'm not going to do that to hurt you. Mick, I'm out to prove, one-on-one, that I am the better wrestler. And I will go on record. Mick, yes, there is no Ricky South if there's no Mick Moretti. Yes, the coach. Yes, pillar of PWA. I found it really interesting where Mick mentioned Matty Wahlberg's name. Okay? Yes, there are some parallels between me and Matty Wahlberg. Perhaps some parallels between me and Steph DeLander as well. The parallels are that the people he coaches get greater success than Mick Moretti. Don't know why. So I very much look forward to it afterwards. I look forward to leading PWA into the future. I look forward to being the standard bearer for PWA. I look forward to flying the flag of PWA after the Roundhouse. Let it be known, the Roundhouse is just the start. I will consider this the birth of a new era for PWA, a birth for a new era of Ricky South. I would lead by example, and I will show you all the example of what a true champion is, what a true champion looks like, and how a true champion keeps to his word. I like the gentleman's agreement, Mick. Any questions?
Ricky, leading into this match, you mentioned that you did feel disrespected that the company did introduce an interim PWA champion. When in that process of when you were out for your injury, did you really start to get frustrated with this? And was this something that built up over the time and course of your injury till it hit breaking point for you?
Look, the breaking point was when Luigi decided to lay claim to the title. Where On Social decided to lay claim to the title, and when he decided to lay claim to the title. Three undeserving candidates or competitors challenging for my title. That was the disrespect. And look, I am the mirror. You show me respect, I give respect back. PWA disrespects me, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to look after myself. Thank you, Piers.
Ricky,
Jared?
you say you felt disrespected and you're saying that you had undeserving champions. So if you were managed to get past Mick in this match, who would you say could be a deserving challenger to you?
No one off the top of my mind. I guess Robbie would have to be there, coming off the Coliseum. If and when I do succeed and beat Mick Moretti, I will be in an echelon in a class of my own. No one else has ever become the undisputed PWA heavyweight champion, so really no one will be on my level.
We did see you take out Cherry Stevens. Going forward, do you consider Cherry to be a potential threat to your championship if you are to get past Mick Moretti this Friday?
Did you say threat? Everyone's a threat. Viable one?
All right, so as we've mentioned, Mick Moretti has played a big part in your coaching, and he's probably seen just about everything that Ricky South's brought to the table to this point. What can Ricky South bring to the table on Friday that Mick Moretti hasn't seen?
Mick Moretti hasn't been the one sole person that I've sat under the learning tree of. I've gone across the country. I've gone overseas. There are many, many, many things that I know I can surprise Mick with. I don't just pick one brain. I soak all that stuff up, man.
So in Mick's speech, he called into question your morality and motives behind holding this title since winning it. How does that make you feel, and do you think this is simply just another Mick mind game?
A little bit. And I know there could be some truths to the word and what Mick is saying. I would have liked to defend this a little bit more often, because I certainly didn't intend on defending it 0 times. But again, I have had a little bit of a change of ideals. My motives are always the same. My end goal is the same, and it's to be champion. But now, it's really just being champion, however it may take, or whatever it may take. I don't care really if it's 1 defense, 20 defenses. I'm out to set records, okay? Put my name in the history books, okay? I'm already the 2nd longest running PWA heavyweight champion, and I'm out to become the longest reigning heavyweight champion. I used to look out for other trainees, other rookies, other wrestlers, think about the reputation of PWA and Australian wrestling. I care for Australian wrestling. I care for PWA because I am its flag bearer. But I don't care about anyone else. Okay? I am the champion only for Ricky South.
And that is it for today's press conference. Thank you for everyone tuning in and for media who came along today. And thank you to Wayward Brewing Company for the show's official sponsor. We will see you this Friday, October 21st at the UNSW Roundhouse for PWA's Black Labels LFG Tour. Tickets are still available at prowrestlingaustralia.com.au and you can watch it live on FITE TV. Have a great day, everyone.